I want to use the word, I want to do tunneling. Okay, I want to do tunneling. Okay, for the secure LDAP, I send everybody a link that talks about secure LDAP, configuring secure LDAP. I also sent a chat about this one. Okay, the filtering of the global protect log so that you can see the login and the lockout events. Okay, so hopefully the information is useful for you. Else you can look for me, and then what I'll do is I'll help you with it. See whether I can find other things for you. Okay, so I'm going to start with our very last lesson. Very last lesson, Johnson will talk very little because there's very little slides. Okay, and I tell the student, when we are doing tunneling, tunneling has no magic. Tunneling has no magic. What you are doing is you are creating an environment where you can connect from one end to another end. Okay, so you connect from one device to another device. Okay, but the purpose of connecting from one device to another device is so that you have connectivity between two environments. So I share the student like this. So today, if you say this one is two different networks, and then you say you want them to connect. Okay, if it's just one computer, then not a problem. This one you can use global protect, correct? Create a gateway here, then do a global protect, everything is good. Okay, but if you want it to be a longer period, you want to use it for a longer time, you want more people to connect to it, then you cannot use global protect. You use global protect very weird. Okay, use global protect very weird. So what you will do is you will then do tunnels. You will then do tunnels. Okay. I've sent one mail. I've sent one message where you're supposed to do attendance for today. Please remember to do. Please remember to do. Later on, Chloe will tell me who has not done it. Then I will send individual reminders again. Okay, come. So let's start off with the lesson. Okay, let's start off with the lesson. Okay. We have our site-to-site VPN. Okay, we have configuring of the site-to-site tunnel. Then we have the troubleshooting. Okay, come. So after you finish the module, you look at how to create the VPN. It's actually very simple, seriously. Yeah, you are doing the configuration of the tunnel interface, you're configuring the IP address, you're configuring the IKE, then you're configuring the you're configuring the IPSec crypto and the IKE crypto. Okay, so the DH group, the Delphi-Hammond group, the encryption methods, the authentication, the IKE crypto. So you're actually doing two things: IPSec crypto, IKE crypto. Okay, then you configure a static route so that the routing can happen properly. Yeah, then we will learn how to troubleshoot. We will learn how to troubleshoot. Okay. So we'll teach you about site-to-site VPN first. So if you take a look, we do route-based. Okay, we do route-based. We don't do policy-based. The main reason why we are doing route-based is because we support IKEv2. Okay, we support IKEv2. So we by default do route-based IPSec VPN. Okay, don't ask us about policy-based. We only have route-based VPN. Yeah. Second, your tunnel will be a logical tunnel interface. Your tunnel interface will have a zone because we need a zone to help us with our security policy. The routing table will choose the tunnel settings. The routing table will choose the tunnel setting. Okay. Of course, we do V1, V2. We do V1, V2. Yeah. Okay. So if you take a look, here you will find that it's actually, this one's a very nice picture. On the right hand side, it's a very nice picture. The reason why I say this picture very carefully is because some students ask me why this is like that. show you this picture. So you have a network. So this is the tunnel. Then you have this network A, this network B, then you have a network C, then you have a network D. Okay, so what can happen is you have a tunnel that goes to B, then B tunnels to D, D tunnel to C. A don't tunnel to C or D. Then my student asked me, Johnson, why do this? Johnson, why do this? So I asked the student, you have to know whether what kind of security mechanism you're keen on. Okay. Remember, you have to do identification, you have to do authentication, you have to do authorization. Who is doing the thing? Okay. So it's basically just a so you are doing security design. So how does security design work, right? I tell the student, I don't say anything about security design. You want site to multi-site, you want site to site, doesn't matter. Yeah, as long as for that timing that you're doing it, it is a correct one. Okay, for the timing that you're doing it, it is a correct one. Okay, come, next thing. So we have two phases. We are going to teach you how to do the configuration of the two phases. So you have your phase one. Your phase one is for you to look for your peer. The phase one is for them to look for their peer. Okay. So you have your IKE phase one for you to identify the endpoint of the VPN. You use peer ID. Peer ID don't need to be always IP address. The peer ID can be a FQDN as well. Okay. There are three modes for the IKE. You have your aggressive mode, or you have your main mode, or your auto mode. So it depends on how many exchange you want to do. You want for the IKE phase one. Okay. Aggressive mode, lesser exchange. Main mode, more exchange. Yeah. Then once you can identify your phase one, that means your phase one is done. Then what they need to do is to do the phase two, which is the generation of the traffic. So I always teach this way. I tell the student, phase one is to find your peer. Phase two is to generate the tunnel. Okay. Phase one is to find the peer. Phase two is to generate the tunnel to the peer. Okay. Then once you generate the tunnel to the peer might have multiple tunnel. The peer might have multiple tunnel. So if the peer has multiple tunnel, when the traffic comes in, the peer must be able to find out the traffic comes from where. So what we do is we'll do a proxy ID. Okay. The proxy ID is available on both sides. The proxy ID is available on both sides. You can have a proxy ID with every single tunnel. You can have multiple proxy ID if you want to also. Okay. So the network is identified by the proxy ID, can be either a mask network or any network which is 0.0.0.0. Okay. So this is your route base. Your route is decided. Okay. Your route will decide the tunnel. Your route will decide the tunnel. Okay. So you see, I'm 192.168.10.0. I'm going to 10.2.0.0. 10.2.0.0 has to go through tunnel 1. So the route will decide the tunnel. Okay. The route will decide the tunnel. Yeah. Okay. There'll be a few things for us to create. What we are going to do is we're going to show you this picture. So you have your phase one, which is your IKE crypto, your IKE gateway. Your IKE crypto, IKE gateway. Because you're going to do the peer ID identification, so what you need is a key exchange. That's why we are doing phase one. And phase one, everything is IKE driven. IKE crypto, IKE gateway. Yeah. Phase two, you're generating the tunnel. The tunnel will then need you to tell them IPSec tunnel using what protocol, or sorry, what algorithm, IPSec tunnel using what hashing, and what exchange. Okay. Then you need to create the rules. You need to put in a proxy ID. You need to be able to identify the traffic. Then after you can write your security rules. Okay. We're going to go through the creation. I tell the student the lesson is very simple, mainly because Paloalto don't do anything special for site-to-site tunnel. They've made a decision that we are going to do route-based. Then after that, the settings is all common because not all company uses Paloalto as a tunnel. So we need to support all the regular tunneling protocols and algorithms so that we can connect to the rest of the world. Okay, so it's nothing special. So the first one that we're doing is the IKE crypto. IKE crypto. Once you have configured the IKE crypto, then you can configure the gateway. Okay, once you have configured the IKE crypto, then you can configure the gateway. So here, when you're doing the IKE crypto, there's a few things for you to choose. Remember, you're going to do the key exchange. So you need to choose the Delphi-Hellman group. You have to put in the group number. Okay, so it can be one of the group number. So both parties have to be similar. You will have to tell them the authentication. Okay, so are you going to, which SHA are you going to choose? Then after that, you have encryption. Which AES are you going to choose? Okay, so of course, if you are keen, you can key in all the rest of the things. You can add in more things, but you have to check whether Paloalto can support. We support standard algorithms. We don't support funny things. Okay, we don't support funny things. Yeah. After you're done with the crypto profile, IKE crypto profile, then you need to create the IKE gateway. Okay. So when you create the IKE gateway, you have to tell them V1, V2, or V2 preferred. So it's V1 only, V2 only, or you prefer V2. If V2 don't work, you can fall back to V1. Yeah. So that's the first one, the version. Second, address type, V4, V6 address. The tunnel is where? The tunnel is where? Yeah. Then after that, you have your local IP address, which is the tunnel IP address. Then after that, you tell them which is the peer. Is it dynamic? Is it FQDN? Is it the IP address? Okay. This example is the IP address. Next. You then have the PSK, the pre-check key. You either use a certificate or you use a pre-check key. Make sure the pre-check key is the same on both sides. Make sure the pre-check key is the same on both sides. Yeah. Then after that, you can tell yourself how you want to do identification. Okay, how you want to do identification. The advanced option, you can have passive mode. When you are in passive mode, the firewall will not be the one doing the initiation. They are waiting for the other party. Okay, they are waiting for the other party. Your IKE, you can be putting it the exchange mode. Then you can put in the crypto profile. You can put in date here detection and so on and so forth. Okay, so these are all the options available. So if we are at the firewall, here your crypto profile is here. I think IK crypto is under, yeah, not here, under network, I think. Should be under network. Okay, IKE, yeah. So I am going to the IKE crypto here first. This is the suites that's available. Of course, you can add. You add the Delphi-Hellman. These are the groups. So 1, 2, 5, 14, 19, 20. Encryption. These are the encryption supported. You discover we also support DES if the other party can only do DES. You discover the authentication, we can do MD5 SHA-1. This is to make sure that if the other party is a very, very old, not upgraded device, we can still support the creation of the tunnel. Okay. Once you're done with the crypto profile, you go to the IKE gateway. You create the IKE gateway here. The screen is the same, V1, V2, IPv4, IPv6, which interface you're choosing, the IP address, the FQDN or the IP of the peer, pre-check key, the password, then your identification, and then you have your advanced option. Want to allow NAT? No problem. You want to allow passive? Cannot initiate. Then you have IKE V1, different settings. Okay. Next. Phase 1 finished already. We're going to do phase 2. So phase 1 is for you to find the peer. Phase 2 is for you to generate the traffic in the tunnel. Okay. So when you're generating the tunnel, then the question is, what kind of IPSec crypto profile are you going to generate? Yeah. So over here, same thing. We come here, we cancel, we go to our IPSec crypto, we add it in. Then here you're going to see something very similar. Delphi Hellman Group, ESP or AH. Encryption is the same. It's the same. You will see DES, triple DES, but you'll see 128 to 256, but you'll see GCM as well as CBC. So you have to go and find out what they're doing. You don't want to learn, then you make sure both parties is the same. Okay. Then your authentication, whichever, or then they write here and tell you which authentication is better. So if you are not so particular about doing security, then you just make sure both parties configures the same. If you are very particular, then all this setting is different. Then all this setting is different. Okay. So you have IPSec crypto. Okay, then after that, okay, generally I tell my students, you should be doing this one first. You should be creating the tunnel first. Yeah. Decide the tunnel, then go and configure all the IKE crypto, IPSec crypto, and all the IKE gateway. Decide the tunnel first. Okay. So you have the tunnel. Then if you are doing tunnel monitoring or you are doing dynamic routing protocols like OSPF and the rest, then you need an IP address. Then also you can add the interface to a virtual router. Okay, just like the same as any layer 3 interfaces. Okay. So you have an IPSec tunnel. The IPSec tunnel just now was the crypto profile. Here you must create a tunnel that uses that crypto profile. That's it. Here you must create a tunnel that uses that crypto profile. Yeah. So after you have created the tunnel, you have created the profile, then you really define the IPSec tunnel. The previous one was a tunnel interface. The tunnel interface. Okay. So you have your phase 2 proposal. If you want options, you can take a look at the options. They have TOS, headers. They have GRE and encryption if you want to. They have replay protection if you want to. They have tunnel monitor as well. Just now we were saying proxy ID. You put the proxy ID in the tunnel. Okay, you put the proxy ID in the tunnel. Then what will happen is when the traffic comes through, you're able to identify. This is the static route. So static route must use the tunnel interface. Your next hop is not required. They just need an entry for this so that the static route is generated properly and then it can be used for tunneling purposes. Okay, we are moving into the, okay, we are done already. We are moving into the troubleshooting part. Yeah, we are moving on troubleshooting part. So if you create and it's nice, then the connectivity is there. You create and it's nice, then the connectivity is there. Okay, next thing. We're going to move to troubleshooting. Troubleshooting, very important for people taking exam. Troubleshooting is very important for people taking exam. There are some questions on troubleshooting, but it depends on whether you received the question or you didn't receive the question. Yeah. So whoever is interested in the PCNSE, go and take. I'll go and take. Have fun. Have fun. A little bit tough. Or I finished the exam in 90 minutes. Okay, I finished the exam in 90 minutes. Yeah. So you have fun. Come. So this one is the troubleshooting. You can use the tunnel info. Use the tunnel info. Every single clickable link shows you information about the tunnel if you are at the IPSec tunnel. You can see the route, you can see the tunnel info, you can see the IKE. If it's red color, it's bad. Paloalto networks don't like red color. They like green, they like blue. Okay, they like green, they like blue. Can? So exam, you normally have to remember this. We normally have to remember. So sometimes you will see no suitable proposal P2 from responder. Okay, what is the issue? You see a PFS group mismatch from the responder. What is the issue? Okay, then you have a mismatch proxy ID. What is the issue? So these are all the VPN error messages that can appear. Some of them, okay, some of them, in case there are new things. Yeah. They will give you the system log. Okay, then you need to be able to qualify it. So you have your local. They will tell you local because the other one is remote. They will local, this one, the other one is remote. Then on the log itself, they will show you local ID, they will show you remote ID. Okay. Okay, this lesson is done already. Any question for this lesson? Any question for this lesson? Come, I see, and whether anyone is awake or not. Now, this lesson is very normal, nothing special. Yeah, nothing special. VPN is just VPN. We create it because we need it. Minimally, you must know how to do because it's quite common. Okay, it's quite common. So you just learn how to configure. Both sides agree the PSK. Both the side agrees which is the secret key. Both of them will then decide. Both of you will decide what is the algorithm, what is the authentication, what is the DH group. That's it. Finish. Nothing special. Okay. So I'm going to give you a schedule. So I'm going to flash the screen for you again. Okay. Make sure you have done the attendance for today. Okay. Make sure you have done the attendance for today. I'm going to click it one more time to show you. Yeah. What is the difference between IKE V2 mode and preferred mode? Preferred mode is where they will choose to do IKE V2. V2 cannot work, they go back to V1. If you just choose IKE V2, then you cannot have V1 if V1 is there. Can you understand? Yeah, so that's the difference between preferred as well as IKE V2 only. Any difference between tunnel monitoring and path monitoring in route configuration? Okay, for IPSec tunneling, we only teach tunnel monitoring. Path monitoring, we normally teach for HA purposes. Can you understand? Can you understand? Zinko, you must go and register for your class. Haven't registered yet? How come you haven't registered yet? Johnson needs you to register for the class. Okay, soon, yeah, soon. Okay, I am doing the instruction. This lab is called IPSec tunnels. Okay, it's called IPSec tunnels. I'm not going to give you 16 minutes. That's too long. 45 minutes will do. Yeah, 45 minutes. Then the time now is 2:55. Cinco, you must do soon. Okay, so we are going to bring you all the way to 15:55. It's 45 minutes of lab plus 15 minutes break. Okay, then I'm going to ask you whether you have questions. Then once you're done ready, right, we will then wrap up the class. Okay, go and do your lab, enjoy yourself. I'll see you in a short while. I'll go for a short break first. See you.